Hey guys! Welcome,
Hi.
welcome to the Self Awaken podcast. Ladette and I are here enjoying our day outside. Today, we want to bring up the topic that's been kind of coming up for us. And I feel like overall, throughout our life, as we make some choices that we want to be changing in our lives, that when it is that we say that we're ready to start receiving something or we're stepping into this new identity that we're claiming into our lives, God starts to test us. Some tests start to come almost to be like, will you really choose the pathways that you say that you want for this new life that you're aiming towards, and just these different lessons that continue to come up almost to see, will you continue choosing what you used to choose in the past, or will you finally start to choose differently?
Mm, Beautiful girl. Yes, I am so excited to talk about this. I feel like this is so relevant. And before we get into it, as you all know, we like to do a little grounding activity. I think today, what I really like, what's coming for me is just like breathing, like a breathing exercise. So we'll just make it super quick. Let's do 3 rounds of box breathing. So if you haven't done box breathing before, you basically like inhale for 4 and then you hold for 4, and then you let go for 4 and you hold for 4 and then you do it again. So we'll do it together. I feel like this one's hard for me to do do it and
Yes,
say it,
yes,
but I'll
yes.
try my best. So we're gonna breathe in for 4, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Okay. Y'all, if my pace was off, my bad. I tried my best. But box breathing, you can do it as long as you need to. Like, typically, I do like 6 to 8 seconds for like breathing in and holding and letting out. But like, as a beginner, I think I was only doing like 3. Like, it was hard for me to honestly take like deep breaths and to hold it because that part's uncomfortable. I feel like the breathing out and holding, but whatever pace feels good for you all. But yeah, breathing is just so good. Like I already feel I can like feel the like my
Yes, girl.
nervous system feels like okay,
Me
I'm ready to
too.
talk about. Let's talk about it, girl.
Let's talk about it. Thank you for leading that, because actually,
Yeah.
as we're getting ready to film the episode, I generally, what I was looking forward to most was probably whatever practice we were going to be starting with, because I needed a girl. I needed to sit down and just take some deep breaths and just be really intentional about being here with myself in the moment that I was going to be sharing with you. So that was
Mhm.
amazing.
Thanks, girl. Yeah, I love doing this in the beginning of the day, whether it's like our podcast or like anyone who's out there listening, just like finding some sort of like mindfulness before you start your day. Like it goes such a long way. And I feel like it always sets like the trajectory for my day. Like even if it's in like the smallest way. So make the time, y'all, because even 5 minutes, even what we just did was like 30 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
tell me not, like it goes such a long way. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, so our topic for today, I think I can't remember what me and Lauda were talking about, but we always do like a check-in with each other, like the day before we start recording, and then we like kind of there's usually like some sort of theme, and we're like, oh, okay, because we're like both going through whatever we're going through, and we're like, okay, this is like what we feel like we want to talk about. But yeah, I think it's a blessing. That's what's coming up for me. Like when you get to a point in your life where you're like, you know what, universe or God or spirit or source, like I'm so ready to like level up. I'm so ready to ascend. Like I'm ready, right? The universe is gonna test you. Like there's always there's no like when I really think about anytime I've like prayed to God and was like, I'm ready to level up, like it has never been just like a okay, level up. Like it's always been like, oh, like I feel like the universe is like, yeah, like she is ready to be
Ready.
tested. Like I'm like, damn. But it's such a blessing because I feel like it always has shown me if I truly was ready for the thing that I was asking for. And if I wasn't, it's shown me like where I need to pour more into myself, or what the case is. And I guess like my biggest, most relevant example in my life has been like my story with drinking. Um, I like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, for the first time had like a little seed in my mind that was like, would your life be better like if you didn't drink? And I remember being like, was that me? Because it didn't feel like my own voice. Like I remember being like, whoa, it was just out of the blue, like one of the days. And I was like, it took me a long time to realize that was my higher self. And like through time, I realized like, yes, actually this is the best decision for me, because it just doesn't like mix with anything I'm doing in my life when it comes to like wanting to be an entrepreneur. I care about my health. Like for me, and I'm just toxic, I should say that, but like when I drink alcohol, I just feel like I turn into something that I don't align with, and I don't like that. And so anyway, like I, for the first time a couple years ago, was like, I'm ready, like I want to be sober, I'm ready. And it's been a very challenging experience, because I've had to learn how to work through like all, like the universe has shown me all these things that are triggers that I didn't know were triggers, like a hot summer day, or like if I hear people outside, like, and it's like today's 4th of July and we're recording, I know I'm going to hear people outside partying and having fun, and like it's like that social, I don't know, cue of just like, oh, they're having fun, so I want to have fun. Or like a breakup and like being depressed. Like I've had to like because like y'all, this has been like a 3-year journey, and it's been like a roller coaster. And each time I'm like sober and I'm doing great, and then there's something that comes my way and it's a new trigger, and I'm like, okay, the universe is just showing me something that I haven't worked through, and something that I need to heal within, so that I can then, when I'm in the presence of that thing, I'm good, right? And it's like I've worked through all these things. And so right now I feel like I'm in a place where it's like, okay, it's all about just letting go of an old identity. But at the same time, I'm open to like, maybe there's still some deep rooted things that I haven't healed that could still potentially be triggers. And I guess the point of this is like welcoming them, like I'm not here saying I have to be perfect and the rest of my life I'm never going to have a drink again, although that is my goal and my intention. I know that because I've asked the universe to help me ascend in my life and level up with this particular thing, that there are going to be things that come my way that are going to make it difficult. But it's like, how am I going to show up for myself, and like reminding myself, well, what did I ask the universe for? The strength to help me live a life where I don't feel like I need to drink, because I don't want to, and I don't like how it makes me feel. So yeah, it's just be ready, y'all. Okay, when you ask to level up and ascend, it's like not linear, but don't be afraid about that. But it's like you are going to be tested, and it's just a matter of I feel like how open you are to those lessons and working through it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm sure we can definitely share just different examples as to where this has came about with us in specific different scenarios, because I know I could definitely think of different scenarios in my life where I decided I'm done, and I want better for myself. I'm choosing better for myself. And of course, like you said, the lesson, it's like, are you really my little baby? Really? And I think for me, and specifically one that was coming up recently that I noticed, two different ones, let's say, the financial wise and also actually relationship wise. For a while, I was in the past really going through being an anxiously attached person to the person that I was seeing. And then moving forward, I really did a lot of inner work for, a few months, where it was like, I don't need to fully be so dependent on someone, and I'm okay, and pouring that energy and love back into myself, and me speaking life and love into myself, that when I did get into a relationship again, it was going to be so different. And I wasn't going to allow myself like to be so invested in like trying to control the other person in order for me to feel safe, right? And lo and behold, here come the lessons. Like, as I'm building my life with someone again, and this person is starting to step back into their power, and they're starting to get excited about the things that they want to do and creative projects they want to start. I felt this little piece of me that wanted to be awakened. Like, it's almost like you think that you get past something, but it's because there's not anything happening. Those cute triggers, like that was saying, that are happening, that awaken that part within you. And then something happens that you feel that part being reignited or reawakened within you. And for me, an example, I felt it with my partner starting to share things that they were really excited to, get involved with. And I think a little part of me started to get triggered back of that means less attention for me, whatever, whatever. And I was like, no, this is good. I had to do that mental, I had to look for the lesson in that, because a part of me, it could have been very easy for me to be like, yes, no, I need my safety and I need to feel safe. But I was like, you know what? That cue reminder of when I was by myself, I was reminding myself, I want a partnership where we're both so rooted and grounded in who we are. We're both walking in our purpose. And I'm like, and this is exactly what's happening. And am I willing to step up and not sabotage that anymore like I did in the past? Because in the past, whenever we were starting to get our individuality, that anxious attachment part within me was like, no, less attention for me. And it would almost like self-sabotage not only myself, but I would do things that maybe unconsciously was trying to sabotage the other person so that it wouldn't make them give me less attention. Like, it sounds so shitty to say, but when I'm being honest with myself, like, that's what I was doing. And to be able to take a step back and be like, this is a lesson. God has given me exactly what I wanted. This is aligning for us to just be both people in our power. We're stepping into our purpose, what we want to do. And I need to go with the flow. And that just means I'm not pouring enough energy into me as I should if I'm so worried about what might be going on there, right? It's a lesson. Like, okay, what that means that I need to step more into my power. I need to continue to find me more, as well as I am doing life with someone else and this journey. So it just really was like, it doesn't just come with like the perfect relationship is here, right? I wanted to be in a partnership where I felt like it's so safe to express things. But yet at the same time, I noticed that I'm someone that shuts down when confrontation or things that make me uncomfortable come up. So then, having someone that gives me the space to talk, then it all falls back down on me. Am I actually having the courage to speak my truth, no matter how vulnerable something might seem, instead of just praying for that healthy relationship where we both get to be safe and we both get to express and feel, that comes with taking the actions that a person in that kind of relationship would be taking. And I think that that's been something that kind of was coming up for me.
Girl, oh, the doggy. Y'all gotta see her dog real quick if you're watching the video. It's so cute.
Yeah, she can.
The little pony.
Look at his bow.
I just love animals. Like, you can't be upset or mad when you have animals in your life, like, at all. So cute. But yeah, y'all, I was gonna say, like, I love Laura's example because when you're asking to like ascend and like level up, I think these are two like really like different examples, but beautiful examples that we gave, because sometimes it might be that the universe is like testing you and dragging you and seeing, are you really ready? But then at other times it might not even be the universe. The universe might be like, okay, here you go. And then it's about if you're maybe self-sabotaging or not. And like, I think it takes a lot of self-awareness to know when you are self-sabotaging. So you might be a person out there who's like, am I? Like, you might not even know if you are. And I feel like the biggest thing there is to just like, it's like paying attention and having awareness of your life and going within. And I feel like even meditation, like if you're meditating for like 5 minutes a day, like you're gonna go so deep in that you'll know, like, am I self-sabotaging? Like, if you literally close your eyes and make it like intentional to just go in, you're gonna know, like, oh, this is the way I've been showing up, or these are the people I've been hanging out with, or this is even the type of content I'm consuming. Of course, this is getting in the way of XYZ, whatever I'm trying to like do for myself in my life. So I feel like that's so big, right? It's like the universe or God or whatever it might be, like, literally we're all so different, right? We're all on these different paths and journeys, but that thing that you're ready for, maybe it's like it's not manifesting because you are getting in your own way. So yeah, I just have so much respect for my friend Laura, because it's like it takes a lot, right, to like be like, oh, this is like the thing that I'm doing, and like no one wants to say like, oh, I'm messing up, it's my fault, but it's like you have to like have a level of awareness and know what you're doing on your end that's like contradicting maybe the things that you're saying that you want to happen. I've definitely been there too with like even the sober journey and then other areas of my life where I say I want to do something, or even like attracting like a relationship and like someone who's highly conscious, someone who takes care of themselves. Y'all, literally 2 years ago, I was literally like, I had it on my vision board. I had like my little like wedding and my rings and all that stuff. And I remember being like, okay, I know the universe is going to give me a person who cares about their health. But then I was over here drinking as much as I was. Like, how am I gonna, like cultivate that path for that to manifest into my life when I'm literally contradicting it? And that's not to say if you're drinking that's bad, or like everyone's relationship with alcohol is different. But for me, I know I don't have a good relationship with it at all, like at all. So for me to sit there and say like I want to attract someone who cares about their health, but then I'm over here like literally abusing alcohol, like, no, but that's not, it's not.
Right.
And I knew when I was saying those things, I knew deep down, I was like, but girl, like, you're still, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't drink for a month and then I would binge for a month. You know what I mean? Like, I was trying to like make that relationship with alcohol work, but I couldn't. And deep down, I knew like, I'm gonna probably attract someone who doesn't take care of their health. And that's exactly what I did. One of the people that I was with and dating at that time, and I'm not going to talk poorly about this person, but there was just certain things that they did with their health that it just didn't, it's not what I pictured myself or my life, like how I would go with someone. It to me was, we were just very different, but in a way the same, because in our own different ways, we weren't taking care of ourselves. Right. And it just, the universe put that in my face. And I was just like, you know what? This person is doing different things when it comes to their health that is really, it's not attractive. It wasn't attractive to me. But then I was like, okay, so then how would my dream person look at me in the relationship that I have with alcohol? They probably would think that's not attractive. Like I was being, you know what I mean?
It's
So
a
yeah,
crazy
you just
thing to put it in that perspective when you said, I was like, well, that's so true. Like you see it,
literally.
it's like that projection of that like energy, even though it was like similar or very different on the outside, the things that were happening,
Mhm.
but that internal energy was very similar. And to think of
Exactly.
that perspective, does that the person I'm truly trying to be, or how would that person look at me with the actions that I'm
Hmm.
like, whoa,
Hmm.
that
Yeah,
was
no,
so
I humbled myself real quick. I was like, oh shit. Like, wait,
yes,
I need to
girl.
get it together.
Yeah.
And but that's so beautiful, right? It's like whatever, like I think this is something that I heard. It might have been in one of Danny Merrill's podcasts. I can't remember, but it's been something that I think really helps me, like, and guides kind of just like my thinking. But like when it comes to whatever it is that you want, your heart, what's in your heart, your desires, all that stuff, like in what way are you mirroring that, right? Like it's like, think about your dream life and then literally go look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I mirroring the type
Mhm.
of outcomes I want to create in my life right now? And if you're not, that's such a beautiful like place to start. Okay, so like what then
Yes.
can I change and do to mirror
Hmm.
that dream life?
Yeah, that is exactly, it's the whole concept, or the things that I'm doing, that higher version of myself. Would that version of me be doing the things that I'm doing right now? And I know,
Mm-hmm.
girl, that on itself, asking myself that question, it's such a reality check to myself
Yeah.
every single time I do it. 'Cause I always instantly know the answer.
Yeah.
In case for whatever reason I'm trying to like cover it, like, well, maybe it's not that bad. The moment I ask myself, would that version of myself be doing this? I know damn well it's a no,
Yeah.
or that they
No,
would be
seriously.
doing that part thing that I'm not currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it's even so it just claiming that
Mm-hmm.
name of the podcast, just that self awaken, your higher self awakening, and really finding that power within yourself, that even takes a lot of courage. What Ladette just said, you could have just been like, you're someone that's unhealthy, like I don't want to be with you, it doesn't align with me. But to be able to be like, but what part within me is also the same, that somehow attracted each other, because it's all a lesson. And maybe he was there to show you that projection of that deeper part within yourself, that
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not being in the healthiest version of myself by
Mm-hmm.
consuming alcohol in the way that I am. So that in
Mm-hmm.
itself takes so much courage, and that's a way of taking your power back and really just awakening yourself to even deeper. And I think that the more that we do those little things, that we awaken more and more, we just start to peel back these layers, and then another thing comes up and another thing, because you're having the courage to be freaking brutally honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like you just gotta go with it. It's like, I feel like when we say that we want certain things, I really believe that it's gonna happen, but it's like there's certain lessons that we have to learn and like revelations and stuff we're gonna have, and I'm just here for it because I'm like, okay, like I can see the way that I have self-sabotaged and the way that I have been a hypocrite. But it's okay, right? It's like, don't judge yourself for it. It's no one here is perfect. We're all going through like our own things. We all get in our own way. And I just feel like when you're open to like, I don't know, just be like receiving of the lesson, it ends up being okay. And I don't know. I just feel like because I have such amazing people in my life, like I'm willing to go through it because I know I have people I can lean on if I'm feeling bad or whatever. Like I've had some moments like with like health and drinking of where I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe like I ate all this all week. You know what I mean? But then it's like, no, it's not a big deal. Like it's I don't know. I just think, guys, like if you're in your inner work journey and whatever it is you're working on, have your people, find people. If you have people you can lean on, then it's not so scary to go in and like do the work and admit, your flaws and your faults and like your contribution to like whatever it is that you're experiencing, because we are all manifesting. But yeah, I mean, it is, I feel good though. Like I'm happy to like be doing this work. And yeah, guys, you just believe in yourself. Like with drinking is such a like weird thing too, I guess, because I feel like it's just so normalized, right? Like if you live in the US, I'm not sure how other countries are with like their social stuff with like alcohol, but out here, y'all, if you're someone who's like, you know what, I don't want to drink, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie, because like it's like all you've known for so long. There's a liquor store every fucking block. Like it's just so normalized, and I feel like I feel like the odd one out sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, even today, like I'm sure everyone, like my family and stuff, will be drinking, and it's fine, like to each their own. Everyone's gonna live their life, and they don't have the relationship that I have with drinking, but it's like it really just, it makes you feel like the oddball out. But I think that that's what, like, I don't think it has to be just drinking. Like, I think in general, if you want to ascend, whatever that looks like, you might feel like the oddball out. I feel like when we want to level up and like, I don't know, create better for ourselves in a way, I think it's like you do feel singled out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I definitely can agree with that. And especially with drinking, guys, like which is crazy because again, I think it's a lot to do with the people we surround with ourselves with, right? Because there is that smaller amount, but I also feel like a lot of people are awakening to these higher levels that these are not things that I align with myself anymore. And I almost sometimes even feel like this ego part of us sometimes wants to be like, that kind of singled out and it's only me kind of thing, and I'm trying to stand, when in reality there is a lot of people, and to find those support groups of people that are fully aligned with you as well. But in regards to alcohol, girl, I 100% agree, because I go through my phases, right? I'll drink sometimes, not so much. Like it just isn't something really I do. But I remember for a while there, like when I'm not drinking, and I'm just not in the mood. And when I tend to be around people that are drinking, I literally notice this pressure. And I remember it would bug me because I'd be like, I'm not drinking today. And then all of these comments would be like, but why not? Just drink one, just drink one. And I'm like, excuse me, like I literally just said I don't want to drink. So it's like that pressure that I can only imagine someone, that is, might be like really trying to cut it out of their life. And those constant, like it's this energy of like, why not? You're doing, you should, and we're at a party, and this like pressure.
Yeah, it's like something's wrong with you if you're not.
Yeah, it's like I remember I got pretty triggered that one time with my friends, and like in front of, like, I remember her asking in front of this group of people that I don't even know, and I looked at her and I was like, I said I'm not gonna drink, and everyone was kind of like, I'm like, it's like no one's respecting what I'm saying vocally right now. What the heck? I get a little firm there.
Yeah, like that's the part about, I feel like, wanting to slow down that I think a lot of people experience, because I don't know, I guess it's just like our society, like it's just so normalized that it's odd when someone isn't. But I'm like, that's like something that I feel like, and I don't know, maybe that's like a different topic for another day, but like I really want to tackle that, like that stigma of like it's okay for a person to not drink. Like why is it in our culture that just people are obsessed with drinking? Like that's crazy to that point where it's like, and I feel like it's a mirror, right? Like if you're someone who is that person that pressures your friend, like that's a mirror and it's some sort of projection on your part, because what is it about other people not drinking that makes you feel like that they need to, you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's just like a whole other topic. But yeah, guys, leveling up and like asking the universe, it brings up so much, right? Like even a couple years ago when I had that voice of like, oh, I want to be like, maybe my life would be better if I was sober. And then like, it's just turned into this crazy big thing now where now I want to make like a course about being sober. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when you say you're ready for something, like be ready, y'all. Cause the universe, like just so much can happen. Right. And something that I heard that's so beautiful too is like how's that phrase? Turn your pain into your purpose, or your pain is your it's something like that. But I just think it's so great because whatever it is, you know, that you end up wanting to like level up in your life or improve, I don't know, something beautiful could come out of it, and it could be like the thing that someone else needs to completely change their life. So I think listening to like your heart too, like if you have that feeling and you're ready to ask God or, you know, source, like, hey, help me, like I'm ready to let this thing go, like that might be a complete game changer for not just you, but for so many other people out there. So having courage, I think, is also a theme here, like having the courage to listen to that voice and trust that it's your higher self trying to guide you into something bigger and better.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because things will come up for us to have that choice that we really do want to change that bad, to be able to start making those different decisions that old version of us wouldn't be making. And you know, I think they even taking the time, like I know I do this, like with things that come up, like I genuinely take the time to acknowledge yourself for the different choices that you're making, and take that that time to just be proud of yourself and talk to yourself and like, yes, you did it. You know, amazing, because an old version of you might have not done that. And just, you know, so many of the times we focus on the things that we should have done that we didn't do, but do we also acknowledge and really take in the moments when it is that we do the right thing, and we do show up as higher self, and we are making those better decisions for ourselves?
Ugh. I love it. Yes, guys, acknowledge yourself and be proud of yourself. I think that's like a beautiful place to end it. It's like whatever it is you want, have the courage to trust in it and go for it. And like Laura said, like give yourself the shout out when you notice like those little, like what do they call it? Is it neurons? I don't know. I'm not, but whatever. When you're like rewiring, you're like,
yes,
whatever in your brain, and now you're starting to have like different beliefs, and you know what I mean? Like I think that's how you rewire basically your brain, is acknowledging yourself and saying kind things to yourself when you know you're showing up and you're doing your best. So
yes,
you guys got this. Don't give up.
I think we ended another episode.
Yeah.
Like
I love that.
You got this, guys. Lessons. Yeah.
Yes, we believe in you.
Yes, we believe in you, and it's so rewarding for no one else but for yourself. You feel that internal rewardness, and you're worth of making those better choices for yourself. And it doesn't have to be a complete change. It's the little things, it's the little decisions every single day that add up to the bigger decisions, the bigger outcomes.
Yes, 100%. It goes a long way.
I think that's a beautiful place to end.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
We love you.
Yes, we love you. Go do something that makes your little heart light up. And yeah, just go enjoy your life.
Yes. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.